Alright, here's a game from this evening in the Gadjah Mada, divisioned up with a couple guys in the 5D clans. Actually, Carrie, who's probably been in some of my other videos, and Deep Winter, who's new to the clan, but played with him a couple times. Kind of gave him hell in a game yesterday, so all in good fun. I was basically raging about one of the players, and it happened to be the guy in my clan that was in another division in the same game. So, anyways, Deepwater's a good player, so it is what it is. Trying to push into the decap. Multiple CVs in the game, both tier 7 and tier 6. So we are looking up to be high tier. Rarity at tier 7, so I'm not going to complain. Spotted by the plane, so I decided to go around the island. This is going to be it's a pretty interesting game. Nothing spectacular damage-wise, kill-wise, achievement-wise, but man, some pretty clutch last-second plays by multiple players in the team. Also, some bizarro world. Typical random player shenanigans, which I find very frustrating, but it is what it is. So I push into the cap, trying to take the cap. I do have a... Who's in there with me? Is that a Colorado? No. I can't even tell. Emerald. It's pushed into the cap with me. My division mates are behind me. I smoke up and yeah, try to get some fires going. Anybody who's played the Gadjah Mada know she's quite the fire starter. And yes, we've already lost a DD. This was a hard-fought battle, to say the least. I believe that some of the cruisers and battleships are possibly going to head into the smoke. So I decide it's not a good idea to sit in my smoke. So let's get out of here and move on with the game, if you will. We're gonna try to relocate, and we're gonna put some torps in this smoke. Obviously, if there's a DD in there, I can't hit him, but it's yeah, you don't want to sit in smoke. The Nicholas dropped the smoke, it looks like, and he turned tail and went the other direction. So, kind of interesting gameplay there. I'm not sure what his reasoning or logic was, but yep, a couple CVs, and one of them's keeping me spotted. Kind of being annoying. Our CVs are... We have one heading to the flank that it looks like we've already lost. It looks like we've... I wouldn't say we've secured this flank. We have taken the cap, but I don't know that I would say we've secured this side. Run into a battleship, so again, Pan Asian smoke. good fire chance and fairly good alpha damage on these shells. That wasn't a good salvo, but in most instances I average 1,000 plus, in some cases 2,000 or 3,000 damage with these shells. So I know the Pan-Asians are, ooh, and we get a kill. So we take down the enemy New York. New York is a tier 5 battleship, so obviously I'm high tier as a tier 7, so not the biggest accomplishment, but we've actually also lost our Emerald, who was in the cap with me. So yeah, the red team is actually taking our spawn. That's how sideways this game is going and how quickly it's shifting. We're only down about 130 points or so, but obviously less than 7 minutes into the game and the enemy is on our spawn is not a good sign. So I'm going to put some shots out on this Gadjah now. And, ooh, hello, Mr. CV. Now this happens quick here. Double fire on the CV. Super sweet shot. He immediately burns his damage repair or his damage control party, and we're gonna try to get him on fire again. If we can get him on fire again, he'll burn for the duration, so that's pretty damn good, and that would be ideal. We've only got 3 fires, and 2 of them were on him and that one salvo, so no crazy damage. We're sitting on about 40k, and we get another fire, which means we can also now focus on other ships. So at this point, one of my division mates is behind me, and one has turned around and is... Ooh, and we finish off the Gadjah now. We fire a salvo or 2 at the DD, and we get the DD in pretty quick succession. It's only 5,000 or 6,000 in damage, and that included this CV who's been burning. So we change our focus back onto him and start dropping some shells. And bam, and just like that, we're sitting on 4 kills, and we are 9 minutes into the game ish. And here's where things get interesting and frustrating, to be quite honest. So notice we have some odd ship positioning. Our Colorado is running from the Red Fleet, who's taking our cap. Kind of understand his situation. Our our Queen Elizabeth and our New York and our CV are also kind of running. Our Queen isn't really running, but looks like she's turning back. The AO is right next to me, and my division mate is now heading north back through D. This really gets me frustrated. I guess maybe I should expect this at this tier. Ironically, you see this same type of play at high tier, so I can't say it's frustrating at low tier because it's very common at high tier also. That said, our Colorado got the Furataka. We are down 3 caps to 1. We do have a slight point lead because we do have a slight ship count lead. We have 7 ships and they have 5 left, so we got a little bit of lead there. But I think, as anybody knows, the points are going to tick up pretty quickly. In chat, I've asked the New York to turn around. I'm asking everybody to help the CV. in the Colorado. But as usual, you have people on your team that I don't know. I don't know what to say. In my opinion, this is exactly what you see in ranked battles. We lose our Colorado to the Pensacola, so we still have a slight ship advantage, one ship, but we are down 3 caps, and the points have obviously gone to the red team. It's possible I'm gonna get a little salty, or I've already been a little salty in the chat. I tell the AOBA and the team that I'll push A, and ask the AOBA to go north through the gap. He actually responds, "Wilco," and does so. So that's awesome. Our Queen Elizabeth has turned around. My division mate, who is in the New Orleans, is he's between a Pensacola and a bunch of ships all up there, including an Atlanta and a Queen Elizabeth, not to mention the DD. So we, myself and the AOBA, secure the enemy spawn, or the C cap. So now it's 2 caps to 2. We still have a 1 ship advantage, and I continue to ask this New York to go north and help his team, but yeah, good luck with that. He chooses to trail behind myself, basically. In retrospect, and at the time I didn't really notice it, I think a couple of minutes into this, my teammate, my division mate, who's now out of the game, also mentioned that it looked like he was chasing the CV's last known position. Of course he was. Sorry about the noise. I'm tearing the tab off a beer, but I've asked this guy multiple times to turn around, and he doesn't. We lose our CV, so now we're down a ship. It's 601 points to 932. However, the AOBA gets back into our spawn, and I get into the A cap. So at this point, we stopped the point bleed, but we have a Queen Elizabeth. Sorry about that. I had a little alt tab issue. Our Queen Elizabeth is in the D cap with a Pensacola, a Shiriatsu. The enemy Atlanta, well, I take that back. He gets the Pensacola. So he's still there with an Atlanta, a Queen Elizabeth, and a DD, a Shiriatsu, which, as everybody knows, has or can be equipped with a torque reload booster. I take the A cap. At this point, I'm pretty far away from the action. So, and our New York has decided to turn back into a cap that we possess, and in an area where he will probably remain the rest of the game without accomplishing anything, because the New York is a very slow ship at 21 knots. He's not going to be able to cover much space, so he chose not to be an active participant early on, and basically ensured that. Unfortunately, at the same time, our Queen Elizabeth appears to have run aground with a DD in the neighborhood, as well as in Atlanta and another battleship. I'm not really sure where this enemy CV is. The points, we have all the caps. Although the Shiriatsu takes down our Queen Elizabeth, so now we're down a ship, and they are going to gain a cap, which is going to allow them to gain some points. And all of a sudden, out of the clear blue, and I didn't notice this at first, the enemy CV is spotted. One of my division mates who was kind of hovering over our gameplay pointed out that I detected him. I didn't actually notice that immediately, so I immediately turned the ship towards him. And yeah, I'm gonna put some fire on the Ranger. The Ranger's in a tough position here, but our team is in a pretty tough position here. The enemy team just took the decap, and they're gonna start earning some points now. We don't have a lot of time left. There's 3 minutes, so ooh. As you can see, I'm getting pretty good damage on him, anywhere from 1,000. Well, it depends. A good hit could be a couple thousand. Average hit could probably be 1,000. So I'm trying to get more fires on him. I'm trying to close the distance down. 824, 832 to 938. So they got about 100 points on us. This is, however, if I can get this CV, it should really level things out. You'll notice at this point my Aoba has left the cap, and the red team is pushing in. Also, our New York has finally arrived on the scene, and my division mates right now are literally like, you have 2 seconds to take the CV out or we lose. Telling them I'm doing everything we can. It's 998. I don't think this is gonna happen, but I get a torpedo hit on the CV. That readjusts the point counter, obviously. The New York, who spent most of the game sailing around doing nothing, has also gone down. I didn't see what happened. It doesn't really matter. My guess is that Shiriatsu, who is sitting on 4 kills, was able to get him, as well as our Queen Elizabeth. So at this point, again, I have no say in this game. I am an absolute spectator at this point. Our Aoba makes a really clutch kill and takes out the Atlanta. Our Aoba is pretty low on health. Asking him to run, break contact, get the heck out of there. Unfortunately for us, the enemy Queen Elizabeth puts up a plane and spots him, and manages to get some shots on him. They also take the B-Cat back, our spawn, and yeah, we got 30 seconds left, and we end up winning that. Don't ask me how. 99,000 damage, 5 kills, 2 captures, and an assist capture. Obviously, Kraken, the only achievement I got. 2,075 base XP. I can't complain about that. Note that the Aoba, my division sent him some compliments because, again, even though I made a clutch play to keep us in the game, he made a clutch play to also help us out. Engaged 6 ships. Sunk 5 of them. That's not too shabby. Although the Gadjah is now, or actually I should say the Nicholas I just finished off. Only 1 torped. A couple 100,000 credits and 12,000 Captain XP. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe. Have a good day.